Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Dick van Oeveren, and in this brand new video series I will show you how to install Elastiflow. Elastiflow is a solution that comes from a company called Elastiflow that allows you to analyze data from a network, so telemetry data coming from your network. In our case, it is IPFix data that comes from a HPE CX 10000 switch. So the Elastiflow installation comprises of three components. The first component is Elasticsearch, which is the actual analytics engine for Elastiflow. The second component is Kibana, which is the front end. It's the GUI front end where you can create or have dashboards that shows you all that telemetry data. And then we have Elastiflow, which is the application that ingests the IPFix data. And so in this video series, it's going to be 4 videos. I will show you how to install Elastiflow, and I will also show you what very extensive information, telemetry data that you can get out of an HPE CX 10000. First video will be about installing Elasticsearch. The second video is about installing Kibana, and the third video is about installing Elastiflow. Now, if you go to the Elastiflow website and go to the documentation, there is extensive documentation around installing the applications. However, it's a little bit scattered around. So what I've done is I've kind of like picked out the relevant pieces, and that's what I'm going to show you in the in this video series. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's first have a look at the Elastiflow website and go into the documentation section here, and you'll find that there's lots of documentation and it's a little bit scattered around. For now, the only thing I will check here is the system requirements, and the documentation is a little bit is not very clear on the requirements. What it does give you is the memory requirements, and that depends on the number of flows per second that you're ingesting. If you have like approximately 4,000 or 5,000 flows per second, you would require 5 gig of memory. If you expect, for example, 15,000 or 20,000, say 20,000 flows per second, you would require 20 gig of memory to run NetObserve. Let's start with the installation of the Elasticsearch engine. First thing that we're going to do here is make sure that the system time is in sync, and for that I will be editing the timesync configuration and add an NTP server. And this is, in our situation, the NTP server. I'll just save the file, and then I'm going to restart the timesync. And once it's restarted, I can check out whether the time is in sync with the NTP server with this command. You can run it a couple of times to see whether it's in sync. The next thing is that we need to kind of like, tune some parameters with regards to memory and network. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paste that command in. So we're making some settings here, some changes. You can find this this information, this command, in the NetObserve Flow installation, but I will also put this information, this command information, in the description below. And next is the installation of the PGP key and the addition of the Elasticsearch repository. So let's first add the key, and then second add the repository. And by adding the repository, this will allow us to install the Elasticsearch module. And this is what we're going to do here with the apt command, apt update, and install Elasticsearch. And this will take a couple of minutes, and we'll get back once it's installed. Once Elasticsearch is installed, we're going to add some more parameters, the Java virtual machine heap size change and some system limits. Change those, and it's like these commands that I need to work with. Again, repeat, you will find the commands in the description below. The next step is that we will be using HTTPS to connect to the Elasticsearch engine. Therefore, we have to generate the certificate authority and create some certificates. And Elasticsearch provides you with the CA functionality and the certificates, so you could use some self-signed certificates there. First thing to do is create the generate the CA. So that's what we're doing here. Just use this desired output field, just the default name. That's fine. And then what we have to do is we have to move those certificates, move the certificate authority into a folder. You can already see that the folder exists, which is a good thing. And then the next step is to unzip that file, that elasticsearch.ca.zip, into the source folder. And then next is we need to create an instance file, and that instance file will be used for generating the client certificate. So we call it instances.yaml. And in this file, we just, what we're going to do is we add some content in there. There we go. So it's a single instance. We call it Elastiflow, and this would be the IP address of the Elastiflow service. We save it. And then what we need to do is we need to generate the certificate and the keys from that CA and the instance files. So what I'm going to do here is copy all of this. It's basically the first command is all about creating the certificate, putting it in a zip using the instances file here, putting it in the zip, and then create the key. Okay. And then so once it's created, we need to unzip the search into the Elasticsearch search folder. Okay, you can see now that the Elastiflow search folder is created, the cert file, the certificate, and the key is in there, and we can use that certificate together with the CA for the authentication. And now we're getting into the most crucial part, which is the configuration of Elasticsearch. The configuration is stored in a YAML file. You can find that in the /etc/Elasticsearch folder. And let me just edit the file and show you the settings. The ones in green are the ones that we are going to use in the configuration. First, the cluster name and the node name. It's not really required to configure this in a single node situation, but for completeness, it's good to mention that. Some paths to store the data: varlib Elasticsearch and varlog Elasticsearch for the path data and the path logs. If you want to troubleshoot if there's something wrong, you can go into the varlog Elasticsearch folder and look for the logs. The network host, typically this is an IP address. In this case, it could be 10.12.11.40, but if you specify 4 zeros, then it will listen to any IP address. We can leave the HTTP port out. That's the default port, which is 9200. And this is the most important part, which is the certificate path. So I'm going to enable security, security enrollment enable. I have the HTTP SSL section here, which is for the authentication, certificate authentication for HTTP. So for getting access to the Elasticsearch, it's enabled. I'm not going to use any verification mode. This would be the certificate authority that was created during the install, and this would be the individual certificate, the key, and then the certificate. Okay, and then we also have the expect security. If you take the default Elasticsearch YAML file, you'll find that this is enabled by default, so it's already in the green. And then finally, the HTTP host that listens for the API connections and transport host. And that is the configuration. You will find that if there is an issue running the Elasticsearch module or daemon, is that if there's something wrong, it is typically a configuration setting in the elasticsearch.yaml file. Okay, so let's restart the daemon, enable the Elasticsearch from start, and then start the Elasticsearch. This could take a little while. And let's see if Elasticsearch is running. And you can see it's running. So it's up and running. There are some other commands that you can use to do some troubleshooting. There is this journalctl command that you could use and that journalctl will look for specific information around Elasticsearch. If I run this, you can see that well, everything is green. If there's something red, or if there's an error, you will find that you would typically find that in that journal CTL. And the other thing to look for is that if you run into issues, you could have a look at the Elastiflow log. So you could just do a tail. If you kind of like want to run it continuously, you could do a tail -f. And so you could do it like this, right? So, and this will give you more information if there's any issue running or problems running the Elasticsearch. Now, with the installation of Elasticsearch, a password has been generated for the Elasticsearch user super user. This is a randomized password, which is like well, a complex one. If you want to reset that password for a readable password, you can run the Elasticsearch reset password -u elastic -i. -i is the switch, the parameter for interactive. And this allows you to change the password for the Elastic user. Right, so I would like to continue and set another password. And then you can use this password to get access to the Elastic server. And the way to verify, to test it, is by using a curl command. And I've got that curl command here. So I'm doing xget with user elastic with the password. This is the password that I just set, 10.12.11.40 port 9200. And let's see what it gives me in return. If you get this information, you will know that the Elasticsearch engine is running. You can see the software version and everything. So this means that your Elasticsearch is up and running and operational. And this concludes the installation of Elasticsearch. The next video I will show you how to install and configure Kibana, the front end. And with that, I would like to thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.